Flooring Models, I'm Philip Flory, kit review time. Today we've got Italeri's Wessex. This is the HAS 148 scale. Now we've seen this kit before, it is a rebox. Okay, so we've just got some different markings and slightly different version on it. Okay, so basically this is the earlier one, which has got the different front on it versus the more modern release they've done. As you can see, very nice box art. I'm not sure, but I think that is the sort of Burmese type ones. Okay, so you've got a little bit of photo etch in there. Kit number is 2744. Some nice markings working our way around the box, as you can see, and some of the versions you can do. So you've got the Raw Navy one, the Rescue one, as well as the others, the more deserty ones. Okay, and yeah, it's the Borneo one, that's the one I was thinking of. And there we go, just down there. So, as I say, we have seen this kit before, so it is somewhat of a rebox, but we'll have a quick run through it. So we've got the instructions, Italeri's normal way of doing things. So we've got actually your sprue callouts, what's going to be used, what's not. There will be a couple that you're not going to use, as you can see. Okay, and then just generally working our way through. As you got down here, we've got the seats going in there. It is pretty basic. A little bit of photo etch, which is quite a nice touch with it. And then working our way down for the main cockpit up top. Okay, putting in some of the control cyclic and collective down in there. Then we've got the seats, then down into the main cabin. So obviously we've got the bulkheads going through, and then back upstairs again, we've actually got the actual rotor head, things like that going down in there. And then opening up a couple of holes for different versions. Main sides, again, opening up the holes to making sure you do those in the correct order, and the various things. A couple of windows going down in there, and then it's installing this center part, just goes down in the middle, and the tail. Okay, and then right the way around, we've got the underside. So we've got down here a couple of little parts, fuel lines running down underneath, things like that. Correct position of the tail wheel, which is quite a nice touch. We've got the net going in, which is like the I think it's photo etch on this one. It's quite a nice touch to give us that mesh intake for the intakes on the front. This is that new front end, which is the classic version of it. Okay, and the other parts going up. We've got decals actually for the instrument panel and things like that. Okay, and then obviously up top we've got the front end going on. Okay, boarding steps being put through, glasswork going through. And then obviously again, say fuel lines, things like that running down the side. Nice to see we've got weight on wheels, quite a nice touch. Okay, some more of that mesh going up, giving some of the grille work, and on the other side. Okay, door in the open and closed position through. Okay, we've got the doors, or the sliding windows, shall we say, on the side as well, going up and in. Working with the main rotor head, putting the rotors on, tail rotor system going through. We've got no option on folded. Okay, and then obviously the ladder, the angles, which is quite a nice touch, all the areas. And then we've got your marking callouts. So you've got your common data, as you can imagine. Then we've got the search and rescue one off of Hermes for 1970. Okay, the Borneo version in the nice camo work. Okay, then we've got Victorious 1961. And we should have the last one. We've got the Asia in 1962 version as well. So some very nice markings. Looking at the decals, as you can see, Italeri standard way, they tend to be quite flat, and the decals always have that sort of flat look. Usually a drop of microset and sold make them go down. No problem at all good registry. We can read all the writing and everything else like that on those, so that's pretty good. All of those very nicely done. Then in here, as I say, we have a little bit of mesh net. Okay, we don't get it in photo etch, which is a shame. But we're not. I thought we did. And then we've got something else in photo etch somewhere. Okay. Main sprue itself, Italeri's standard way of doing it, they always tend to have a nice, well, not a nice, but a texture, shall we say, on the side, which is great if you're doing any type of flat work. But if you're doing anything with a more sort of glossy finish, you might need to address some of those issues. But we have got some nice details. You can probably see there on the tail system, some of the plates and plugs, strengtheners, and obviously we've got the tail brake for the tail to be folded around in the stowed position, but we do not get the option in the kit. Generally pretty crude, as you say, on 148 scale. We've got the overhead instrument panel. The tail is a little bit flashy. In fact, the entire thing is a little bit dusty and flashy everywhere. Okay, the soundproofing, quite nicely textured with the lights in there. And we've got the floor with all the little lumps and bumps and the holes and everything all over it. So although it's quite basic, actually it's not quite a nice touch there. So we've got the grille for the rear with that sort of louver door business going on there. That's all very nice, crisply moulded. There's no flash in any of those sections at all, so that's quite a nice touch. And then down on the inside, we've got obviously some of the formers inside the actual cockpit area itself. Unfortunately, you have got whacking great ejector pins absolutely everywhere in there. And then down here, for the actual, underneath the actual soundproofing from the top, we've got, it's a little bit softly moulded for the main rotor head system down in there. But again, it's a cheaper kit, shall we say. Not many sprues in this one, so you're only going to get a handful. So this is the newer sprue, if you like, which has got the older front on the front end, and that's what actually this update actually is this particular sprue. So we've got the underslung system with the fuel lines and the various bits and pieces running behind. Okay, then we've got this new nose, which is very nicely done. It's a little bit, just a fraction. You've actually got a bit of work going down here. You've actually got quite lightly engraved on the top, and then obviously it's quite deep down here on the actual mold. It's just the way it's molded. It's not very good, to be honest. It's very, very thin at the top. Okay, the nose one isn't too bad at all. That's a bit better. Running our way through, but the level of detail is quite nice. It's a very nice mixture of obviously the riveting detail and the panel work and everything else like that. And this section down the bottom, it's very nicely done. Some nice detail down in there. Pretty good. Okay, there's our photo etch bit we were looking at. So obviously we've got this grill, we've got some harnesses down there, an instrument panel in photo etch, things like that. And then we have the blades, which they're still done the same way. This will be hopefully a mirror pair, it is. Okay, they have already put into them the rotor sag molded in, which is quite a nice touch. You can see it going across. Okay, so you don't have to worry about bending it over your leg to bend it down. Okay, weight on wheels, nice touch, split hub, working our way around. Then obviously the exhausts, which are not too bad, they're hollowed out, which is quite a nice touch. So just putting those together in a quick clean up. The seat detail is a little bit crude, but generally not too bad. Very nice. Okay, and the clear parts. So, not tons of it. Just a little bit of dust on it here and there, but generally very nice and clear. No problem with any of those clear parts at all. Okay, these are obviously, they're bulged anyway, so they're going to be a little bit distorted by their nature, but pretty good. The side windows, all very nicely done. As I say, it's just a little bit dusty, but apart from that, it's pretty clear. Very nicely done. So there we go. If you are in the marketplace for another Wessex, you've got the older version here, a basic kit, but well worth the money.